Hi, my name is Ripdala. You might know me as Bonikichi from TikTok. Today I'm here to talk about art block and my experience with art block. I am trying to become a background artist, and only recently have I started pushing myself as an artist to get better. That being said, before I was very much riddled with all of these different terms you might hear, like art block and imposter syndrome and burnout, things you might come across when you are beginning into art. So the thing that separates art as a job versus a hobby is the fact that when art is your main source of income, or even just a source of income, you can't really rely on things like motivation, or you can't really let things like art block get to you when you kind of need to do this to live. And you know, art block can look like many things, such as a lack of motivation or even just not knowing what to draw. No matter the reason you're going through art block, you do have to become someone who can get over these things if you want to do art as a job, whether it's freelance or in the industry. But of course, I'm not just going to yell at you and tell you you need to draw. I'm going to tell you how to kind of get over art block and why you kind of are feeling this way. For me, at least, the main source of art block would be sitting around. I would want to draw, but inevitably I would just sit on my butt on TikTok or watching YouTube or One Piece or something. I know deep down I should be drawing and I know I want to draw, but I just feel like there's other things that I want to do. And I know you artists who start drawing more know the struggle of not really having free time. You're always drawing, and it's not something that you have to do. Sometimes it's something that you just are kind of addicted to. So sometimes it's kind of hard to get back into this want to draw when you spent so much time drawing and now you've put all of your other hobbies and interests on the back burner. And that leads to my first point, which is you need to kind of learn how to manage your time. I personally try to, and I emphasize on the try, I try to manage my day throughout Notion, the app on my desktop. I usually keep a tab open with my to-do list, and I do admit I have been lacking lately, but I try to check off as many of these as I can a day. Most importantly, the drawing and reading I try to do every single day, but I also try to find time for my own shows, which is why I have other tabs like entertainment, which shows me kind of what I plan to watch next. And that kind of leads me to my next point, and this one might be a little personal. I'm not sure if anyone else goes through this, but when I draw, I like to have some kind of show playing in the background. Usually a cartoon, since I'm trying to be a background painter. I do want more and more inspiration, and it's kind of nice going back on these shows that I might have watched as a kid, or even just newer cartoons, and looking at the backgrounds, the different stylizations, and the different methods that they use. But a problem I've come across recently is that I've run out of shows to watch. Not knowing what to throw on in the background while I'm drawing has really hindered my process. It's quite the struggle looking for different shows to watch, especially when a lot of these cartoons are on subscription-based platforms that either took them off in their entirety or they're just a little too expensive for me to pay for. And so with me not really knowing what to watch, I do end up not drawing as much because I seriously would go through series after series watching cartoons while drawing. This never-ending struggle for finding what to watch while drawing does kind of get in my way as an artist. So my cure-all for this, I do think it is important that you don't depend on any other external factors while linking them to art. If you have any rituals that you do every time you draw or before you draw, you should get into the habit of trying to draw without said ritual every once in a while. Another frequent reason as to why people experience art block is because they simply do not know what to draw. We all know how it feels to just kind of not know what to draw next, especially when you're kind of sticking to the same genre of art. For me, this was roomscapes. I drew so many that it just got kind of boring, and eventually I didn't even know what to add to a room to make it pop, to make it stand out. And this kind of took away a lot of the fun of the background design, because as I do want to be a background painter, background designer is also a position that I very much am interested in. Drawing should be fun, but when you're drawing the same thing over and over and it's kind of becoming a nuance, try to learn a new skill and apply it to your art. I drew a lot of rooms, but after a while it really did get boring and I wanted to kind of move to more outside environments. And even now I do have too many dark pieces that I want to move away from. I want to start drawing more vibrant and bright pieces. And as much as I love my trademark dark look, I do want to start playing around with more colors and more scenes. Another good way to get around this is by using prompts. Using a different prompt every week or month can help you not only pick things to draw, but draw things that you would have never drawn before. I suggest getting a group of friends together who are all the same kind of artists, or even artists in different fields like character designers or background artists. You can pick one prompt to all kind of interpret in a different way. Just give yourself a time limit so that you are kind of put under pressure to work. Because though putting pressure on yourself as an artist might sound kind of daunting and stressful, it is going to overall help you in your experience as not only an artist, but someone who wants to get into the industry, or someone who wants to do things like freelance work that you are going to be paid to get work done in a certain time frame. And as you gain more experience in drawing under a certain time limit, you're going to be able to draw faster, which is going to help you as an artist. I want to actually work towards having the different groups in my Discord server all having weekly prompts for everyone to work on, whether you're a character designer, a 3D artist, a background artist. So if you would like to join my Discord for when I do set that up, I will leave a link in the description. I spoke about how you might not know what to draw, but sometimes there might just be too many things that you want to draw. I, for one, on my Notion page have a lot of illustration ideas that I have never even sketched out. It's very important that you get into the habit of getting the rough draft done as soon as possible. As soon as you have an idea, you should jot it down and really get a better vision of what you want to draw. In doing this, this will help you fully explore this piece, and before you know it, your art block is gone and you're drawing a full illustration. So I mentioned earlier that you can't really rely on things like motivation to really dictate when you draw. And I'm sure you can see why, as when you do, you kind of lose consistency. Or maybe better put, you add irrelevant factors to your consistency. You shouldn't be consistent because you're watching shows or because you're always motivated. You should be able to draw when you're not motivated. You should work on drawing every day so that even on the days that you don't feel motivated, you already have this discipline and consistency set in place to where you are already going to draw. It's going to be like second nature. Whether this drawing has to be at your desk, iPad, or on your sketchbook does not matter, as long as you are drawing every day, building towards this consistency. I used to not be one to set resolutions, but I do think setting resolutions as an artist can be healthy if you do it right. And I will probably make a video on that on its own, so look forward to that in the future. But setting goals as an artist shouldn't be something that you are going to end up discouraging yourself with. When you set goals, you should really work towards making these goals happen, and you should set realistic goals. Drawing every single day is not too much of a realistic goal, because there are some days that you will mess up and this will make you feel kind of bad. So either you get around that mindset by understanding that there are going to be days that you won't draw, or you can flat out reword your goal and just say you will try to find time every day to draw. This way, if you don't find time, then you couldn't find time and you're not really breaking your promise. You should really understand yourself as an artist before you make your goals, and then you should really try as an artist to accomplish these goals. It's very important that if you're here to become a freelance artist or an industry artist, that you get over such concepts like art block. And with a challenge such as becoming an artist that can support themselves with their work, you don't need extra issues on your plate such as art block. If you enjoyed this video and experienced this yourself, you might have experienced some other topics that I've talked about on this channel. So if you would like to check out any of my other videos, I would be very pleased. Thank you for joining me on our journey as artists, and I hope this helped you in your issues with art block. Apart from that, it's been real. See you.